Hey, I'm Mark Sexton.
Zach Veach.
Felipe Nasser, and you're listening to Checkers and Records.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, good morning. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day here so far. I'm not really too tired, but I've been up watching quite a bit of racing here today. 24 hours of Daytona on the real track right over here. I guess it would be, yeah, it's over there. But right over there, we're having some fun here in the house. We've been watching it quite some time here. And I'll tell you what, right now, Alexander Rossi is on a tear. He is putting on a show out there himself. He's got Simon Pagino and some other guys. So it's been really fun to watch these IndyCar guys push. But I'll tell you who the most exciting person in my mind on that track here so far has been. And that is none other than Kevin Magnussen. What a fun guy to watch here behind the wheel here, that Chip Ganassi Cadillac. What a show it has been so far. I want to know your guys' opinions. My initial opinion, there's going to be some growing pains. As we just saw, Magnussen, he had to take a drive-through due to wheel rotation while on the jack. So he's going to have to take some time to get used to the feel of IMSA, more so as he's used to 2-second pit stops, 3-second pit stops, not 30. That's what they were just talking about on the broadcast here, and that makes a lot of sense. So I think once he gets over that hump of learning that, he's going to compete with Nasser. He's going to compete with these guys in that full-time schedule. I really look forward to seeing that progress here, because right now they're sitting P3 and Scott Dixon actually took over. So Magnussen stepping out of the car. Not sure if he'll be getting back into the car at all here, but man, what a run. You see him not too long ago. He tried to make a move on the outside of Rossi, and this is where you see a little inexperience here with Kevin Magnussen, just maybe pushing the limit of the car. And it's not inexperience as driving. It's just more learning the car, trying to take it outside of Rossi on the bus stop. Rossi, knowing what the car would do, knowing everything, gave him the room to make his own mistake and just caught him right on the outside of the bus stop. So it's been very exciting racing. But I want to know what you guys think. I want to know, do you think Magnussen really has a shot this year to put something out there? I'm not taking anything away from Van der Zorn, because he did a fantastic job. He put that car, I think he did a quad stint last night and was on rails. So he's obviously got a fantastic teammate behind him there. But you also, it's a pieces of the puzzle here in IMSA. It is a more so of a team than what we're used to seeing. So does Magnussen complete that puzzle? I think so. I think they definitely compete against that Acura team. And I'll tell you what, it looks so weird seeing that black and blue out there not being a Cadillac. Does anybody else feel that way? It's like, whoa, that just looks really weird as an Acura. We were talking about that a little earlier. And Brandon, I don't know. I don't know if he wants to. I think he has success here. If he does possibly win a championship, maybe he finds his groove in the DPI class. Maybe he does run a solid stint here in IMSA and not worry about the pressure so much there of IndyCar, because I know that's one of the things he was talking about, was that he's kind of excited not to have that pressure of Formula One on him right now, because that pressure was over his shoulders. It was a little tougher, and now you see these cars are a lot more evenly matched. It's not so much a money game. It is. I mean, racing's always a money game per se, but it's more an even match. I think he's really gonna excel in IMSA. So I think that's going to be a choice of his. I think the opportunity is going to be granted. I think it is going to be offered, but we'll see. Does he want to do that? I think that will really be his decision in the end. Because, like I said, I do think he does get the opportunity, the offer to do so with Ganassi, but he is. I mean, let's talk about money and a lack thereof. And at the top of the board in the LMP3, I think it is Oliver Askew, and he's like 3 or 4 laps ahead when he was running that stint. So these guys really have chipped away as they were sitting in third when I went to sleep last night to go to the top of the board 3 laps ahead. And that just really shows the type of driver Oliver Askew is. And he is going to continue to push this grind. He is going to continue to keep this going as he knows he can drive. He knows he has the skill behind the wheel, in between the wrist and the head is what I think is somebody said. So he knows that he's got that possibility. He's just got to show people. Excuse me. He's got to prove that he can get it done. So I really think exactly. So you come out here, you show what you can do. You got the world stage here looking. Maybe he does pick up a possible funding here. I know they were talking about him possibly looking into an Indy 500 ride. So he may still see IndyCar this year. The talks are still going on for Oliver Askew. But as far as right now and what he needs to do, he's doing a fantastic job holding steady and keeping still here with this Daytona 24, being very patient, and he is. He's a very solid driver. I look forward to seeing what he can do here in the future. You look into, I know I hate to keep talking about IndyCar drivers, but you guys know that's where my passion is, and I love seeing the crossover here. And there's a team. It's Simon Pigott, it's Zach Veach, Townsend Bell, and I can't remember that fourth driver, Robert McGinnis, I believe. So 4 of these guys all have IndyCar ties there. So it's the Vassar, Sullivan, BMW. So really an interesting ride there. They're having some tough luck, though. You've seen these guys get behind that wheel. They're really putting it on. And before we started the show, like I said, Rossi and Pagano were going at it. 1-2. Oh, okay. Pigott's on to ask you there. So it was Veach, Bell, oh, darn it, McGinnis, and then somebody else there, and I can't remember that fourth there. So what's going on, Katie? How you doing here today? You watching a bit of the 24 Hours of Daytona? That's what I'm loving it right now. And I'll tell you what I find even more interesting is the success that Jimmy Johnson had leading the race last night. He's got a great car under him. He's got a great team behind him. As that driver Kobayashi did get into a little trouble in the morning. Oh, no good, Katie. Did get in a little trouble early in the morning as he was taking a run into turn 1. Gets caught in the middle and spins it around. They get fortunate enough. They are fortunate enough to catch a break and get the yellow that they need. And right now I just peeked over, and they are chasing the leader down as Albuquerque is in the 10. Pagano still sitting in that spot. And I'll tell you what, right now is getting dicey. They're splitting other classes. It was pretty calm for a while, and now they're really starting to get the racing going here. So with 4.5 hours left in this race, I look forward to seeing just exactly what they can produce here to really kick off what hopefully is a just a very solid year in motorsports here this year. They're talking to another IndyCar driver, Colton Herta, right now on air. So another thing I really kind of picked out, if you will, when I was watching the interview with Scott Dixon. He seems to have a natural rapport with Jimmy Johnson. It seems that, I mean, we've seen Dixon talk about his teammates before in the past. He's been friends before with these guys. He's a very professional guy, but it almost seems like Dixon and Johnson may have that rapport. Is it going to be as good as Dario and Dixon? No, I think that's like a best friends. Like, you're talking about my best friend. You know what I'm saying there? So I think we see a good formation there. Like I said, I think with Johnson's solid run right now, he's doing fantastic. And we heard Rossi, he spoke earlier this week about how much this car really does cross over into that IndyCar style of driving. And it's, I think, I mean, call me crazy, call me nuts. I think Johnson, building off of this momentum, building off of this week and what he's learned this weekend in the 24-hour behind this DPI, really has a solid run in IndyCar. Is he going to win a championship? No. Does he win a race? Does he get some podiums? I think he's going to get up there. I do think he is going to compete. We see him competing out there with these guys that, frankly, top-of-the-line drivers in IMSA. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like I said, you got world-class drivers here. And IndyCar broke a announcement here as well this week that Rick Ware and that coin team are going to join combination there and get a little alliance going. And with that announcement came a little, I don't know if they broke the news per se on the Daytona broadcast, but there is speculation that Romain Grosjean will find his seat there with the Rick Ware Racing. So a lot of information kind of coming out to the forefront here as we get ever so closer to the opening days here. And I'll tell you what, next week, you guys know what it is. NASCAR's back. It's going to be fun here next week. Is I know these guys here, you see Chase, he's ready to go. He's ready to put this title back on the line. Not having the run he wanted to have here with Felipe, Pippo, and teammates, but that team has retired here for the day. They've had a rough run. That Whelen modified, that Whelen Tour DPI. They had a tough day. That's a rough run. No, absolutely not. I don't think Michael Jordan makes a run in IndyCar. Definitely not. I think the money is in NASCAR. I think to be an IndyCar, you really have to be you have to have money, but you really have to have a passion for that style of racing, honestly, because I would think Michael Jordan and the Jumpman team would do more of a sports car deal before they got into IndyCar. That's just a lot of cash there that sponsors don't necessarily follow, unfortunately. So I do think these guys ready to get that NASCAR series going. I think we're going to see kind of a lot of the same season we saw this past year. A lot of changes are being made, not this coming year, but the year after in NASCAR. So I think a lot of the same kind of in NASCAR. I don't know how much changes. We'll see. We'll talk to we'll have Kyle Westwood here next week to kind of talk a little more insider NASCAR with us. He is a absolute super fan there. I'm just looking over at the stat. You can see I am focused here on the 24 hours. I'm excited. It's a spectacle here. So many guys really just try their entire career. They win world titles. They win world championships. And then they want to solidify that career with a Daytona 24-hour win. And it's just really cool to see that constantly flowing here. You just all these drivers coming from different facets of the racing community here to be part of this run. So really awesome to take part in this and watch a good roll of it. I would like to really, I'd be interested to know if any of you guys have made it out there to the Daytona 24-hour, and especially like people are out there. Yes, people are watching this. They're live there right now. I want to go when the atmosphere is normal. That's the one thing that I would be really curious is to see what the atmosphere is like here this year. I'd like a little more fun, upbeat, where you can walk around the infield, because I don't think there's a lot of infield going on right now. There's a lot of that stuff, obviously, with the pandemic and what we have going on right now. It's just a little different this year. So being able to just watch it from the comfort of the home, I'll take that this year, as eventually someday I would love to get it out that way and see it. They're going to get a drive-by in there. Absolutely. Nice. There's nothing wrong with that. Open the windows. Let that nice sound come out there. It's really just a spectacle to see the track in itself. That Daytona Raceway is just a beautiful facility. It's just, it's kind of overwhelming. I mean, you see it on TV, it looks big, and I know I talked about this before, but then you see it in real life, and it's just like, wow. I mean, that is huge right there. So just really interesting to see. It's just such a spectacle here, and just love that it's continues to grow and become something that it is, and still have the momentum that it does here. They got a little rough start. It looked like iRacing to begin with back in that GTD classes. Guys were throttling up into each other and everything. It was a little rough. Greg said his friend said it's their worst year there. I believe that. Absolutely. As I could see, it'd be a little, I mean, you got to make what you can of it. You got to do, I mean, if this is some people's only opportunity to ever get out to Daytona and see this, and hey, maybe they're in the stands making the most of it, and right on to you guys doing that. But I understand. It'd be like if the 500 allowed people in this past year, it'd be interesting to see what the atmosphere would have been like, so separated, not just a spectacle so much, if you will. So Dwayne's out there. He's celebrating it. The 24 hours of Daytona, unfortunate turn of events there for Dwayne's team, and I really feel bad for that driver there, Robert Kubica, as that gearbox failed early in the run. I really wanted to see Robert get a solid opportunity in that ride, as I feel like Robert's still got a lot to show. He's got a lot to prove. Not necessarily prove, I shouldn't say that, but he's got a lot of talent still left in that body, and it would have been cool to see him be able to really get out there and make a solid run at it. So unfortunately for Kubica, he's got to retire. They retire a little early with a gearbox issue. So 48. Yeah, all right, Caitlin, I'm gonna hold you to that. I still think Magnuson is gonna take this in that Cadillac. Van de Zand, Magnuson, the team there, Scott Dixon. I do believe they're going to make it up. So I do think they got a solid run here. I would think with 4 hours, 20 minutes left, we're going to see another caution that will allow these guys to pull it in tight and really get the groove going. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. Guys, this is a little shorter one here today, as I'm going to get back to watching the Daytona 24-hour. I really appreciate you guys tuning in here to Checkers and Wreckers today. A huge shout out to each and every one of our loyal sponsors, partners out here. Sean Nugent, the Rockstar Realtor, a Bruzy Racewear USA, driving for Dyslexia, ButtKicker, Chummy Motorsports over there on iRacing, Harman Designs. We got mybookie.ag. As always, check us out at www.BWSPORTS1.com. That again is www.BWSPORTS1.com for all of the fun and excitement that we got going on over here at the network. We appreciate you guys so much.